Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Scotty Show. Tonight, I got a very special guest, Matt Rod. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Ain't no problem. For the people that don't know who Matt Rod is, who's Matt Rod, man?
So I'm like a kind of all around do-it-yourself kind of artist. I'm
Yeah.
an artist from I was born and raised in Hartford, Connecticut, but I'm currently a transplant in Boston. And I
Mm.
started making music in Boston when I went to college here. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I basically, if there's anything I do in like the process of, if you see anything coming out of like my Twitter or anything, usually I have a hand in almost everything. If it's not just not the beat or like small parts like
Mm.
that.
Okay. How long have you been doing music and like how did you like originally get into it and how did you know like this is what you wanted to do, you know?
Uh, so that's a great question because I started when I came to Boston, and when I came to Boston, I was going to school for computer sciences, and I immediately hated it. Like I like computers. I still built my own computer. That's the one I'm talking to you on right now, and
Mm.
it doesn't like working on them still doesn't bother me. I just being an IT guy was like not like the ideal job for me. Like fixing
Mm.
people's being a geek squad guy, what have you.
Yeah.
That wasn't cutting it. So
Yeah.
I was in a couple film classes. I thought I wanted to be a director for a little bit, and my friends and my roommate wanted me to record them because I was the one that had access to the microphone equipment and the one that knew how to use it. So I
Mm.
downloaded Audacity and I got a microphone rented from the library, and we made our first song. And they asked me to hop on it, and when I
Hell
hopped
yeah.
on it, I figured everybody was fucking with the flow, and I enjoyed it, and I was like, all right, I think I could do this. So I just kept doing it and never stopped.
Hell yeah, man. Who are some of like your influences, for making music? Like it could be like a rapper, bands, country music. I listen to all different types of music. So like any kind of influence that you had as like an artist, like who's an influence on you?
All right, so for sure, I'm gonna start with the hip hop influences. I'm gonna say Big L, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, Pusha T, Pharrell, Kanye, and then the new age people. Obviously, Kendrick is in my
Mm.
top three. J. Cole's in my top three. I really like Joey Badass when he started out. He has kind of like fell off a little bit for me, but I still got love for him. And then
Mm.
yeah, that's we'll stop there for hip hop artists. That list can go on forever. But
Yeah.
for my dad was really into rock, and I'm Hispanic. So there's
Mm.
always like I love growing up. I love reggaeton. Like I loved Daddy Yankee.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
like a lot of the great reggaeton artists. And then
Hmm.
those are some influences on me as well. And then as well for like rock, I definitely grew up listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Oh, hell yeah. Red
Green
Hot Chili
Day.
Peppers. Bro, I've seen them. I saw Green Day and I seen Red Hot Chili Peppers live, bro. That's
Let's
fire.
go. I really those are
Yeah,
two people. Those are
yeah.
two bands I need to see live before I die, man. That
Yeah,
is
man.
for
Red Hot
sure.
Chili Peppers was crazy. I saw them at Lollapalooza. Then I saw Green Day. It was the Green Day. It was Wiz. Like it was a crazy lineup. It was Green Day, Wiz Khalifa, and Lil Uzi. And
Oh, that's
it,
fire.
and it was when Lil
Damn.
Uzi. It was when Lil Uzi was like first coming up. Like he wasn't like who he is like right now. And
Yeah.
like he was opening up for Wiz Khalifa at the time. I didn't even know who Lil Uzi was. I was like, who the fuck is this dude? Like going up on stage. But yeah, bro, like that's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Red Hot Chili Peppers and Green Day, bro. That's
Yeah,
fire.
I need to see them live. I wish I went to that show. That show sounds freaking amazing, man.
Mm-hmm. It was
Hell yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I would love to see Red Hot Chili Peppers. Probably and the White Stripes.
Fire.
That song obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right band? You could
Think
correct me if I'm
so.
wrong. Seven Nation Army.
Yeah, yeah. That might
Okay.
be them. Yeah. Think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of my favorite songs growing up too. I really like that.
Mm-hmm. What is how do you feel about like the Boston scene? There I know like there are some good rappers that come out of there. There y'all got who 1090 Jake is? He's not
Yeah,
a
I heard 1090
rapper.
Jake.
He's not a rapper, but like he's like a famous
The,
like East
the
Coast Boston
Massachusetts
kind of
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then that one who's that other white rapper? Like he's kind of short. Bro, I was just watching his
Um
interview not so long ago, but he's like very
oh,
popular in the area.
Millie's.
Millie's, yeah, yeah, that dude, yeah,
Millie's.
that dude,
Millie's
yeah,
is
yeah, that
crazy.
dude, yeah,
So
he's
I got a
dope.
story about Millie's, right? So my brother-in-law, he actually does videos for Jadakiss from time to time. And he also is a white rapper from Massachusetts. And
Hmm.
so when I went to first tell him about like Millie's, my sister told me not to like mention it because he was kind of like it was a sore subject to him because he felt
Mm.
like he had been doing it for so long, but because he got locked up, that like he lost his like because he's also a rapper from Massachusetts, my brother-in-law,
Hmm.
and he's got like tats all the way up to the neck down, like kind of like
Hmm.
has like the same style as
Like
Millie's.
Millie's, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't really rap like him at all. Like they rap completely different
Mm.
styles. But he feels like it was like what he deserved at the time, and it's like yeah, that's true too. But also like your work will show you what you deserve. So I guess
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it is what it is. But he's a great artist. He's a
yeah.
great artist.
Yeah, and then like it's just crazy because like I really like the East Coast scene because you got you out there, you got Apartment 9,
Oh
you
hell
got
yeah!
Yeah Okay, you got Moth Girl and all them. Like how
I
do you
never
feel
heard of
about like
Moth
the
Girl.
yeah, she's pretty dope. I interviewed her. How do you feel
I
about like
think I checked that
The
interview.
East Coast scene? Like because it seems like y'all are like like you have like that East Coast drill, but then you also have like that alternative scene. And then like I like your style because like it seems like it's like more original. Like it's not like backpack rapper type, but like you know how to like piece together like rhymes and like you know
Appreciate
how
that.
to yeah, you know how to like put together like rhymes and words together like really well. And you don't come off as like, oh, I'm gonna do like like what people are doing like right now with like the auto tune and everything. Like you
I
can really
appreciate
like
that.
yeah, you can like really rap like and like it's just like so much it's so many different like styles coming out of the East Coast and like the scenes are super different, like but
Yeah.
it seems like y'all all like come together and like y'all can all like create something together even though y'all all make different music. How do you feel about like the East Coast scene right now?
I think what a lot of people like mistake us for being like rude. And just real quick, I saw my mic. Just side note, I saw my mic peaking a little bit earlier. I saw it hit red just now. Is
Hmm.
the volume still good?
Yeah, yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so I would say like people like what people think because I've been to the West Coast and I got friends that I've been playing video games with for over 10 years from the Midwest, from Utah.
Hmm.
And where they think that like we're kind of like rude, it's just kind of like where I think people from like the West and the Midwest are just not up straight up front with you. And that could be a generalization. That could be a complete generalization, but like I
Yeah, yeah.
prefer people to be
Bro,
like straight
you
up and tell me how
100%.
you feel, like off
Yeah,
rip.
yeah. Bro, you 100% right. Like sometimes like especially like I'm from the Midwest, bro, so I'm gonna tell you straight up like people will like beat around the bush depending on what area you're in.
Yeah.
Like I'm from like I don't want to say like country, but like I'm from a city that's like 2 hours away from Chicago. They're gonna tell you how they feel, and like
Yeah, of course.
some people are like a little bit pushover, or like they'll be like fake about how they feel about something. And like if you're like more like upfront about how you feel about things, you're most likely gonna be like blackballed. Like no
Yeah,
matter
don't get it
like
twisted. There's people like that
yeah.
up here too. There's people like that up here, like more towards the suburbs and stuff. And like I grew up
Hmm.
like first 12 years of my life, I grew up in the hood. And then the next 12, when I graduated through middle school and high school, I grew up in the suburbs right outside where I grew up in Connecticut. And the
Hmm.
suburbs there, like Connecticut, when it goes from hood to suburbs, like black and white, like night and day. Like you'll be going
Hmm.
down the street, and then all of a sudden you're in the freaking woods. Then
Yeah.
one street over, you're in the city. It's like
Yeah.
because it's such small towns, it's such a small driving area.
Hmm.
And then 2 hours from either way from where the capital Hartford is, where I'm from,
Hmm.
it's um it's 2 hours to Boston and it's 2 hours to Queens, New York. So you
Mm.
can go either way.
Okay, okay.
And
Um,
yeah,
yeah, no, keep on going. You got anything else? Because I feel like you were gonna say something else. You go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, and that's why like a lot of people from Connecticut don't have really like uh set sports team. And
Mm.
honestly, Connecticut really isn't. That's why I'm here in Boston. It's not the greatest place. I just wanted to put that out there. I still represent Hartford. Um, Hartford is like people don't realize Hartford is like a real fucked up city, like real fucked up. And I'm trying to help out as much as I can once I get on. But that's all I
Yeah.
had to say.
No, like I watch like a lot of like Vice documentaries about like places in the East Coast, like Connecticut, Rhode Island, and
Yeah,
Boston. And like there's like a really I've seen like I heard like it's like a really bad like drug like epidemic
yeah,
out there and like
heroin.
yeah, heroin. I've seen like meth, fentanyl and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
I
And
lost I lost a lot of friends to fentanyl. A
yeah,
lot.
yeah, like it's so crazy, man. And RP to them, man. Like it's so crazy. Like especially if you don't know and you just like on living like I'm on the outside looking in and I'm like watching that shit. And I'm just like, bro, like I didn't know that like because like you look at like you think of like the East Coast and like the West Coast, you're thinking like big, like you think New York City, you think like big like stars and stuff like that. When you live in like the Midwest or like these smaller like cities and like towns. But then once you actually like, you know, like go into like these cities, like see things or you watch like documentaries on them, you'd be like, damn, bro, it's actually really like fucked up there. And it's
That's
not
just
like
yeah.
yeah, like it's not like what people like what mainstream media makes it seem it is, you know what I'm saying?
That's the same thing I think about the Midwest too. Like we think about the Midwest, it's like we don't realize like, oh shit, like it gets it popping out there too. Like you forget
Bro,
that, like,
that's where
yo,
drill
like
rap, bro,
yeah, you forget that shit gets crazy out there.
drill rap originated in the Midwest. Like most of like, bro, like people don't even know that Al Capone, like the city that I'm from, Al Capone used to go there when he used to hide from the police and like hide from like the feds and stuff like that. Like my city was Peoria, it's Peoria, Illinois. It was like a gang, like it was known as like a gang like hideout for like big like mob bosses and stuff like that. And like that
Damn.
is yeah, like that's where like you know, and you got like people like Richard Pryor that came from that place. You got Sam Kinison
Oh
that
hell, I didn't know Richard Pryor came from there.
yeah. Richard Pryor was born and raised in Peoria, Illinois. Like pimping, like his mom was a you know a prostitute and like he was raised in a hoe house, you know, pimping, you know, I don't I'm not gonna say it started in Peoria, Illinois, but like pimping was like a really big like thing, and it still is a big thing in like the Midwest. Like pimping
Damn.
yeah, pimping's like a really like big like thing in the Midwest, and like it's just crazy like how you know it kind of gets overlooked like not like the pimping part, but like how much the Midwest like plays a part and like you know Kanye West came from you know even though he was born in Atlanta, he was still raised in Chicago, Midwest. You know like you know he's a Midwest person. Chief Keef, Midwest, Chicago. It's still considered the Midwest, even though you know people look at Chicago as like a New York or like a LA. And
I definitely look at it like that. I look
yeah
at it as
yeah.
like as like a like more brolic at like New York, LA. Like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Chicago's just like there's like no safe points there. But also like my family's from New York, my family's from Queens, and I was the
Mm-hmm.
firstborn of I got three sisters. The two older were born in New York, and I was born in Hartford,
Yeah.
Connecticut. And I grew up basically like every weekend in Queens, like seeing everything that happens that goes down there, visiting family, because we had just recently moved there, so we had still had close ties. So
Mm.
every weekend we'd be visiting, and most of the time I would see my cousins. And there was times where I saw like crazy shit just right on the street, right on the block. Like we lived in well, our family lived in Jackson Heights,
Mm.
and that's where we used to visit a lot. And then there was the laundromat. If you ever watched Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, that
Hell yeah.
laundromat scene,
Hell
that
yeah.
laundromat was the laundromat that I used to walk by every single day to go get my ice cream from the corner store. So when
That's
I saw that and
crazy.
I said I love Spider-Man, my mom was like, "Holy shit!" She was like, "That's what they were filming." And then I was
Mm.
like, "Oh, that's right. They had that whole street blocked off." And
Mm-hmm.
so I like he was already my favorite superhero. I forgot how I got into this tangent, but but
Bro, no,
yeah,
shout out Spider-Man, man.
yeah.
I fuck with like and then like when you think of like when I think of like New York, like I think of you know, Spider-Man and like Chicago. And then when it comes to Chicago, like it sounds crazy, but like you think of Batman, because Batman was shot in
The Gotham
Chicago.
City.
Transformers was shot in Chicago. Like it's
Yeah.
so crazy. You know, like those places, you know, and like those
I
like
used to
just
think
like how
Gotham was a real place, yo,
bro, I
when I was
swear to
a kid.
God, bro, no shit. Chicago, real life Gotham City, bro.
For
I'm not
real.
even gonna hold you. Chicago, like, you know, I'll go there like, you know, to do stand-up comedy and stuff like that. And it's real, I would say it's real life, you know, Gotham City. Like like it's some real like I've seen bro, like I got a homie that got his catalytic converter like taken off his car. Like that's like a
That's
really
crazy.
yeah, that's like
See, that's the type of shit they do in Hartford, bro. That's the type of
yeah,
shit they still be stealing your radio. They still be just like, and
bro,
it's fast. Like they just do anything, bro. They be taking like the
bro,
copper wiring out your crib.
bro. That's like
That's
that's
more towards
fucking
the north
crazy.
end, though. Yeah, but
Yeah,
also
yeah.
too, like there's a more on the Batman note. There's a I one of my friends brought one of my Twitter friends on here, Hassan Barkley. He brought to my attention that there's a Batman in Southie, like a real person dressed up as Batman, like doing, I guess, fighting crime in a Batman suit, but
That's
like
crazy.
he's like a psychopath in South Boston, and
What?
like
Dude, I
we
think I
can
heard of that. I think I've heard of that part. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like and we were talking about it, and somebody posted the video of it. We're like, "Yo, I haven't." He tweeted, "I haven't seen proof," and I was like, "Damn, there's a Batman in South Boston. Like, what the fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, I can't find videos. Somebody posted the video. I could send it to you after, bro. It's crazy.
Hell
He's
yeah.
just him walking like mad serious in the middle of the night. I'm like, whoa, if I saw that, bro, I'd dip. I'd dip. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't know what
Yeah,
he's
bro.
probably got like tasers, pepper spray, everything on him.
Yeah, man. What, who are like, some of your favorite like features or like people that you have worked with, like, in like this internet, underground like scene, like, and also how do you feel about that? How like the internet and like the underground is like combined into one, and it created just like this big universe of like different artists and like different talents.
So I really want to credit like everything I've done to like what the Twitter we have going. Like I feel like you understand this. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like when I see your tweets, you see my tweets. I feel like there's like this like low key like small like algorithmic like circle of us that we just kind of recycle each other's, not even recycle, but like help like boost each other's like profiles
Mm-hmm.
unintentionally just because we just have like the same similar styles. Like I see you,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you see like Astral Trap. I know you see
Yeah.
like Andrew Kelly pop up. I know you see,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a great artist. And this is because like we've created this like just in
Ecosystem.
yeah, we've created this eco, and you being the person to actually document all this shit. I just want to give you, your flowers now, bro, before you get too big,
Thank you.
because bro, this is some shit you're documenting. And I thought about it too. I'm like, man, like I do so much, and I always have like more ideas, and I can figure out how to do something like this, but it would pull away from my music, and I really want to stop like spreading myself so thin and focus more on my music. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like that. I feel like Twitter has like this amazing like every funny meme starts on Twitter. Every funny like joke starts on Twitter. I feel like, and then it just gets recycled onto other social medias. But
Mm-hmm.
right now I've done features with people that are local. And my favorite local feature I would say would be with my friend Loco.
Mm.
We did a project together called IDC last year, and we have like a video to that. Whoa, which is pretty good. But then I have another feature coming up with a very prominent Twitter artist that I've been working with for a little bit, and he's blown up a little bit over the top over the last couple months, and it's Seth Such. And we
Okay,
working.
okay.
I got a feature with him that we've been working on. It's funny because we started it a while back, and I saw that he'd been blowing up. He'd blown up since, and
Mm.
like through some phone tag, through some Twitter DM phone tag, if you want to call it, like we just the communication, like I slipped up at a couple times, what have you. No bad blood, nothing bad was happening, but it happened. So long story short, it had been so long that we had both improved so much that the original verses we wrote are going to be completely different. So he's sending me
Mm.
the new one now, and I have a new one ready that I'm gonna record once I get his in, and my mixing skills and everything are a lot better, but the hook is gonna stay the same. So the bass core of like the whole vibe, like if you know my music, usually you can find my sound by my hooks, because I usually start with making the hook, and I pride
Mm.
myself on my hooks because they usually get stuck in my head for days after I make them. And it's
Mm.
like, if I that's how I know it's a good song. If I wake up the next morning and I'm brushing my teeth and I'm just like 10,000 miles, I'm not gonna do the whole thing because I'm gonna leave it.
Mm.
I'm gonna leave it for a surprise, but maybe
Hell
I'll do a
yeah.
snippet.
Hell yeah.
Uh, but yeah.
Yeah. Nah, man, like just to like double back, like I feel like it's just important to document like the underground scene and like this whole
Mm-hmm.
like ecosystem that like is being created right now because one of the things that drove me to, to make this was I watched the XXX Tentacion documentary and a couple other like artist
I
documentaries, like a
love that.
little
That thing
Peep
made me
one,
cry.
like that. But one of the things I didn't like about it was they didn't document how he became who he was right now. Like they didn't talk about Denzel Curry. They didn't talk about, the Florida scene as a
Yep.
whole and like how like that and how like it built up. Like they didn't talk about Wise Five Funeral. They didn't talk about,
Yeah,
all these other like
you're
artists that
right.
played a part
The
and
whole smoke perp
Lil Pump, like the whole South Florida scene and the
mhm.
California scene, and then like the Lil Peep, like they didn't talk about Lil Tracy and all these other artists that played a part, and like and other artists in the California scene. They didn't talk about the I don't know why I lost like my the artist's name, but they didn't talk about like the Wicca Phase. They didn't talk about Cold Heart, and I don't know why, but he's a Virginia artist, same as Lil Tracy, and
Dang.
Black Cray. They didn't talk about fucking Black Cray and all these other artists. They didn't talk about Xavier Wolf and Chris Travis
Word.
in
Yeah, they
these
missed a lot of
documentaries.
people.
And like, and I think it's so important to document all the like, and we're like the new age underground. We're the new,
Yeah.
I don't want to say like this is like the new like no jumper or whatever, but this is
Oh,
like
it,
the new age.
it might be.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I don't want to be like labeled as that, but like, I just want to make sure that I'm doing like I'm doing like justice to like the artists that are coming up in the underground scene, and that that always put out like that content, and like that's why I have like a certain criteria, and I don't like do it to like spite like underground artists, but I care about how consistent artists are and how
Yeah.
serious they take the craft, because I know people look at this as like a get rich quick scheme, and like someone like you, I can tell that you actually care about, and just by listening to your music, I can tell that you care about how you craft your bars and like how you're putting out your
Appreciate that,
content
bro.
and your music. And like that is why I have like a certain criteria. Like, okay, how much music is this person putting out? And like, what is their music sounding like? How are they crafting like their bars and everything like that? This is super important, especially when you're documenting these kind of things. And yeah, man, like you're definitely like one like a player in like this whole entire scene. You're definitely like a piece of the puzzle of like this whole like Twitter underground internet like rap scene right now.
I appreciate that, man, because like realistically, you came in at like when you offered me this interview, I got really excited because I had some unfortunate things happen with my family recently. My uncle passed away
Yeah.
right when I got the call when I was on stream, and I was finally figuring out because I was doing gaming streams just to like try to expand my audience for a little bit, and I was consistently
Mm-hmm.
doing the streams. I was consistently releasing music. I had another song ready to come out. I was promoting it on stream. I finally was getting my like my foot in, my momentum going really well,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was on stream, and that night I was starting to do my Ableton streams again because I figured out like how to fix the problems I was having, and I was going to be
Mm-hmm.
able to start figuring out how to do the audio recording streams. But I was
Yeah.
just doing like a beat stream, and during the
Mm.
beat stream I get a call from my mom, and I just got the call and I just like freaked out on camera. They've never released it because like I mean, only one person was like, I think it was only one other person watching at the time. Thank God, because I threw my
Mm-hmm.
computer chair like into my, and I had a bad, it was just a bad night after that, and
Yeah.
then it was a bad couple weeks, and it took me a little bit to get myself together because I never had a family member that close pass away,
Mm-hmm.
and he was taking care of my grandma that has dementia, so it was
Mm-hmm.
like real difficult at the time,
Yeah.
and so I had just released this new song about well not about it wasn't about him, it was dedicated to him, so
Mm-hmm.
but it is named after him, but the
Mm-hmm.
song isn't directly about him. It's just a song that like that came from the feelings that I had
Yeah.
when I was thinking about him and what happened.
Yeah.
And it is not doing so well because I haven't done so much. I haven't kept the ball rolling for so many
Yeah.
weeks, and I basically lost all the momentum. And then I got this call, and I was like, "Hey, man, like I was keeping my chin up regardless, and I'm still gonna keep making music, and I'm still gonna release it regardless." And the numbers never really mattered to me, but it definitely hurt because it wasn't even just music that like that I dropped the ball on. It was like my work life. It was
Mm,
just progress in everything in my life. And I'm finally back in my in my position to move at the same pace as I was before.
yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
what it's
feels
all
good.
about. Like it's all about bouncing back and like, I talk to many artists and I'm just like, it doesn't matter like whether you know, when things like seem like short of like the goal that you want to reach, it's always important to keep on pushing forward and like always keep on going because this shit is a marathon. It's not a sprint, you know. And then like the second you stop, will forget. You know, people will
Oh
move
yeah,
on to the next thing. And like
I
obviously,
don't
like
blame them.
do it for yeah. I don't blame them either, but like do it for the love and just always remember, like you know, like I put it to people this way: like look at artists that have already made millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars off music, and they're still releasing music every week. They're still releasing music every 3 or 4 days, and they're putting themselves out there.
Oh yeah,
And like I just tell people, like imagine how hard you have to work, and like you look at artists like one artist that like you know that really like inspired me to like keep on like pushing forward and keep on like you know pushing that line was Ralphie the Plug. His Draco the Ruler, you know, he got stabbed in the neck at a concert in LA, and Ralphie the Plug, his brother, he saw that happen. And like the next
damn,
day, even though his brother got stabbed in the neck and died, he kept dropping music. He kept on doing like that, you know,
yeah,
and it's hard to do that, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you lose a family member so close. But you have to remember, like, but like even though like that happened, he knew what his brother was doing. Draco was dropping every single week, every dinner, every single day, putting out music, putting out videos, putting out content. And like the best thing that he did was keeping his brother's like legacy, his work ethic alive. And like, you know,
yeah.
just think about like, you know, like your uncle, like, you know, and how
That's
he was like,
ultimately what I learned. Like ultimately what I learned after through all that is like, yeah, man, life is just gonna beat the shit out of you. And some days
yeah,
it's gonna continuously uppercut you and you just can't
mm,
you won't be able to recover. I mean, you just won't be able to recover for some days. And that's just
yeah,
what it is.
yeah,
But it goes on, life goes on. And
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and nobody knows what happens at the end, but we all just keep pushing forward
Mm-hmm.
like it's all good. Cause it is. At the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm gonna live my best life. I'm gonna try my hardest to to be as openly creative as I can every single day, every chance I get,
Mm,
because I feel like that's what I was born to do. I wasn't born to work like this job I'm working. This job is just temporary, you know, like
mm.
it definitely helps pay and
The
support my
bills.
dream
Yeah.
job. My dad always told me like he was like, you got two jobs in your life. You got your dream job and you got the job that pays for your dream job
Mm,
until and then basically after that the metaphor was like you know you're then you're until your dream job pays for everything, but
mm-hmm.
you know this stuff is temporary, but at the same time like I feel like we weren't born to work and die. We were born to do something with ourselves, and for me I feel like it was to express myself creatively so that other people could possibly relate to it. If not, then that's all right, but hopefully it hits someone and helps someone that's going through something similar.
Mm.
And that's because what a lot of music has done for me in my life.
Yeah, yeah. True that, bro. And like another thing, I don't know why I lost my train of thought, but I wanted to add something to that. I don't know
It's
why
all good, man.
I don't know why I lost my train of thought, but uh,
I be going
fuck.
on rants, dude. That's why.
Yeah. No,
I be going on crazy rants, dude.
like same. I'll be going on rants too. Like this is like such like a really good like conversation, and like I'm just like you're really like expressing like yourself and like putting yourself out there, and like oh wait, I know what I wanted to add. Also, like in it's all about like seeing like what different type of skill sets you have. Like you can record yourself, you know how to do the audio engineering and everything, and like you could do the behind the scenes work and stuff like that. You can insert yourself in this industry and in this business in many different ways, not just by being an artist, but you can be the audio engineer. You could charge for studio time.
Of
You can charge
course.
for so many different things. And like
And
and
I've charged for studio time before, and I never turn it down. I
mm-hmm,
just don't like advertise for it. I feel like if I
mm-hmm,
did, I definitely probably could get. And when I do, I'm starting to do more shows
Mm-hmm.
again now that I've got the ball rolling again. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to start putting on, I'm going to put on my own events eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm working on getting people to get to them by doing other shows first.
Yeah.
And I gotta lock in the venue that I want in Somerville, Massachusetts. It's called the Jungle. It's got this
Mm.
6 stage with a bar behind it.
Hell
It's real
yeah.
nice. Yeah, so that's the next move. And
Yeah.
from there we do everything else, you know?
Hell yeah. No, like, and that's like one, it's like another important thing that I tell people. I'm just like, yo, like, because like I was an artist myself, and like I found other passions like stand-up comedy, interviewing artists and talking with artists, and like even helping out artists figure out like, what path they want to take, and like, and directing people in like, hopefully the right direction they want to go into. And like, I always tell artists like, don't take what I say as like gospel, just take it with a grain of salt. Always listen
Yeah,
to yourself, and like, whatever you believe that you can do it. But also just figure out other talents that you have.
of
And because
course.
like and like, this new day and age of artists, and being like a rapper or whatever, like you can't just be a rapper now. You got to be a fucking like streamer.
You
You
gotta
got
do
to,
everything, bro.
yeah, you
You
got
gotta
to
do
do
everything.
everything now.
But
You
you
got to
also
be
gotta
an
remember not to
actor.
stretch yourself too thin, because I tried doing that and I was doing like a lot of gaming videos and a lot of stuff, and I
Hmm.
wasn't really focusing on making new music. And I kind of
Hmm.
like fell right into the gaming a little too much. But also at the same time, like it's okay to let loose and game. I'm just saying everything needs like a
Hmm.
balance. So if you
Yeah, yeah,
can balance
balance.
it, like then add something and then like try to go from there. Like say if you're doing music and you want to do a little bit of music videos for other people, you tap into that until like you take on that load until you can balance them both while still
Mm,
pushing your own music and your own personal goals forward. Just making sure at all times you're getting the same balance.
mm,
Because that's what happened to me. I was trying to help too many people at once, and I kind of just didn't progress my music at all for almost
mm,
a whole year back in like 2018 before I did South by Southwest. And
mm.
it was yeah, I'll never let that happen again. Just
Yeah,
yeah, I'll leave it at that.
hell yeah. For the people that like, fuck with like your music and everything, like what features, what like, and like what new music can we expect from Matt Rod in the future?
So I do drop music every other Tuesday, and this Tuesday is the Tuesday, and I have a song produced by Kaiju. Oh my God, it's Kaiju,
Mm,
and I'm gonna be dropping that this Tuesday, and then the Says Such feature should be coming out soon after that. Sure,
hell yeah.
if not the next release after that, the release after that, depending on the time it takes us to send back mixes and whatnot.
Hell yeah.
But it'll be coming.
Uh any new like what any new albums, music videos, like what like any of that kind of stuff coming
So yeah,
out?
we are working on a brand new music video for for one of the songs that I pre-released. Is we're choosing between two right now, and we're choosing two different sets. So I don't want to say which one's gonna be the next one being released, but I have a we're shooting film on Sunday, and I should have it edited by the following Sunday for release for the next Tuesday's release. I know it
Mm,
sounds crazy, but it'll make sense when I say it on Twitter.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Like I'm
And I always
definitely
post the
excited.
dates.
Hell yeah, man. I'm definitely excited for like what you're doing next, man. And like I'm just happy that like, I was able to get like this interview in with you, and like you telling a little bit of your story. And I just can't wait to see what you're gonna do next. And whenever you have anything else that you're gonna release, like a new album, new mixtape, whatever, man, like my platform is open to you anytime you want to promote something, man. Like
Much appreciated,
yeah,
man.
anytime, man. Like for real, like I definitely want to, I'm gonna stamp you right now. You're definitely like one of the pillars of the underground industry, and like
Thanks,
not even the
man.
industry, just underground community. And I definitely like look at you as like a dope like lyricist, a dope artist. You know what like I feel like what kind of music you want to make, what sound you want to make, and like I feel like you're just gonna do anything that you want to do, man. You're super talented. You have a multiple different skill sets, and like just don't forget to like use those different skill sets to compound interest on like what you already love, which is music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear that, man. And also shout out to you for putting on for the underground and for being the excuse me, the next no jumper, man. You're documenting all this stuff. This is history that in the making you're doing, man. And I'm excited to be part of it. I'm really excited to be on this show. And I'm excited to for all the other artists that have done this. Excuse me, I took some crazy rips trying to finish this
No, you
up.
good, you good.
But yeah, no, man, like you're part of history. This is all part of history, man. This is insane. I love it, and I love how free it all is, and I love all the creatives that tell everybody else to be as free as they possibly can and support each other and and show each other love. Man, it's just cool to be able to do what you want every day, and us doing this from our bedrooms. Like this is insane, you know.
Hell yeah, man. Hell
This
yeah,
is
man.
some cool ass shit, man. But
Dope as
yeah,
fuck.
so where are you located right now?
Right now I'm in Peoria, Illinois. Like it's a city that's 2 hours away outside of
How's this
Chicago.
Pura?
Peoria, Illinois.
Peoria.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, I'm in Brighton, which is technically Boston, but it's like the outskirts, bro.
Yeah. Hell
But
yeah,
yeah,
bro.
man.
Hell yeah, bro. Yo, this is the Scotty show, man. I appreciate you, Matt Rod, for pulling up, man. This was dope, dope conversation.
Let's
Like I said,
go.
I can't wait to see what you got coming next, man. Anything that you want to plug?
Yeah, search me up on all any DSPs, all I mean yeah, any platforms. Matt Rod, very simple. MATT space ROD. On social media, I'm the real Matt Rod. The only thing I'm OG Mateo on is Twitter. I'll never change it.
Hell yeah, man.
Gang, gang,
This is
gang.
hell yeah. This is the Scotty show. Matt Rod, thank you for pulling up, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Let's go Celtics.
Peace. Hell yeah.